But I want to go back to talk about the beginnings of your health journey, because it really began when you were age 40 in 1990, when you first met your husband, Rondell Davis. So tell us about that first date and how he changed the course of your life.
You know, when I met Rondell, I was really just having a rough time with food, pretty much, and he fed me my very first vegan meal, so that was sort of kind of like the first date. But really, the first date, he took me up to Griffith Park, and he ran the whole thing past the observatory backwards, and I'm struggling, thinking to myself, this man is sick. Something is wrong with him running this entire mountain backwards. But afterwards, I understood that if he could do that whole mountain backwards, one day I'm going to be able to do Griffith Park, maybe at a walker's pace, but in a running mode for sure. And I can do that right now. But he fed me that day, and he fed me my very first vegan meal. It was tofu, string beans, some type of a cracked wheat bread, a salad with something other than head lettuce. Yeah, you know that.
Iceberg, yeah.
Yeah, that one. And tofu. I kept calling the tofu chicken, right? But I could actually digest the food. That was my challenge normally. I had no knowledge of food combinations, nothing like that. I was dumb like everybody else eating. And he offered me 2 books. He had one copy of Fit for Life, a hard copy that had been actually autographed. And come on, I wasn't really that into all that reading. Okay, come on now. But he was kind of cute. So I was like, and he was like, and I really want my book back. So that meant I had to go ahead and get through the book. So he gave me Fit for Life, and then I got volume 2 myself. And he also lent me the Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret. Needless to say, since I was forced to read the book, I read the books, and it addressed everything that I was dealing with every time I sat down and ate food. I was totally addicted to sugar. My mama put sugar in everything. Her spaghetti sauce, you could drink it with a glass of milk. It tasted like dessert. And it was just an addiction. We were just totally a mess. My teeth were a mess. I had to wear braces, and I was always dealing with cavities and just bad skin. I couldn't even wear anything backless. Oh my God. Heaven forbid I took my shirt off. And I started practicing changing the lifestyle, if you will, through the recommendations offered in these books. And my life began to change.
So this
just
one
like
meal,
it
is incredible. We hear so many people talk about they kind of tiptoed in and started to notice some changes, but it's kind of a lot going from standard American diet and animal-based diet to go to a plant-based diet and like all plants, right? And you had tofu and salad and lots of greens in that first meal.
Right.
So there was a digestive change in you in that one meal that gave you said, all right, I got to go down this path. I mean, there wasn't any digestive issues because of so much fiber. It just felt fantastic.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I wasn't, because I was a belcher, and I had acid reflux all the time, reflux, whatever.
Reflux.
Yeah. All the time I had it. And this one meal, I didn't have any of that going on. You know what I mean? And nothing lodged in my teeth. That was another thing. The tofu, it tasted like chicken, but it wasn't doing what chicken normally did for me or with me. And so, yeah, I transitioned pretty much overnight, ladies, pretty much overnight.
It wasn't just the meal, though. It was probably a little bit Rondell.
Well, I mean, Rondell had to change too, because he wasn't vegan.
Oh, he wasn't?
What happened was, when I said, I'm doing this, I am doing this, he was like, oh, okay, thanks. I guess I am too. consequently, we transitioned together.
Oh, I see.
And we neither one of us are looking back. Really and truly, it's such a blessing. Such a blessing. Because really and truly, this was back in 1990. Think about how much crap we eat now, along with the processed food. And by educating myself, I didn't go towards processed foods. I went towards real food. And when we open the restaurant, that's what we serve, is real food. I make my own burger patties out of mushrooms and nuts, and you understand? So yeah, that's how we did it.
What was it in those books that really grabbed you? Like Fit for Life, I recall, was about food combining, and you had food for breakfast. That's all I remember from it, because I had a friend who was on it and she loved it, by the way.
Well, let me tell you that it was such a blessing for a couple to decide to write a book addressing what so many in the human species go through after they sit down and eat a plate of food. I know that every barbecue I ever went to, my dear always had a fruit salad, and she always had those little balls of melon and strawberries and grapes and every fruit she could imagine, she'd have it in that bowl, along with all of the barbecue and the ribs and potato salad and coleslaw, and everybody sitting back, piling up all this food at one sitting and wondering why they feel like crap afterwards. And it's because of poor combinations. And then for me to learn that a melon should be eaten alone, for me to learn that fruit should be eaten on an empty stomach, for me to learn that there are 3 different types of fruit: subacids, acid, sweet. Which sweet goes with subacid, but maybe sweet doesn't go with acid. For me to learn all of that and understand then why I felt the way that I felt, because I was misusing myself due to a lack of knowledge. And that is why it's so important for human beings to educate themselves. We have been misled and misguided by people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. You do not need to go drink another animal's milk, Lord.
What changed after you mentioned you had a lot of health problems, or you didn't feel that great? What changed?
Oh yeah, I grew up with asthma, suffering from asthma. I had really bad eczema. I missed a lot of time out of school because I was so inflamed. I had a lot of earaches. I've lost hair before from impetigo. I couldn't digest my food. I was massively constipated and could have won any belching contest had there ever been one, because I had the biggest belches of anyone on the planet. I don't care. You could have been a giant. I still would have kicked your butt in belching.
And what were you eating before? And were you exercising at all before?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't exercising. I was eating everything most people ate. And since I'm on the east side of LA, Black community, yeah, we ate chitlins. And chitlins are the intestines of a pig. And we even had to clean the chitlins. So I cleaned the shit out of the chitlins, lady, and then turn around and ingested them. I saw the poop in the chitlins, but because of how the human brain just gets all tweaked out, and whatever somebody tells you to do, if they tell you to do it long enough, you lose your own senses. Why was I eating poopy chitlins? But everybody that eats them has seen the poop in them. So it's just a matter of conditioning, yes? And all of that type of food, milk just gave me the blues. I was miserable if I ever ingested dairy, any kind of dairy, ice cream, it did not matter. I was miserable every time I ate. It got to the point I told my mother, I think I'm allergic to chitterlings, because we always had them in the winter. Of course I'm allergic to another man's intestines. I should be. But how many doctors tell you to eat liver? because you are low in iron. You
Yeah.
don't have to eat no liver. Whose liver? What is the function of a liver in any being? What is that function of a liver? Why in the
Cleansing.
hell do I want to eat it?
Yeah.
I need some spinach.
It's not that hard.
I
It's
can
just
drink
not
some
that hard.
spinach and get all the iron I need. You know what I mean? So it's just about educating yourself, because we've been, I'm going to tell you, like Malcolm X said, we've been bamboozled.
Yeah.
Yes, we sure have. We sure have.
Yeah.
And you're out to set the record straight.
I'm setting it straight. What they going to do to me? I'm old anyway. I don't care. I'm telling it like it is.